.NET MAUI Preview 11 is here. Well, kind of. You'll see what I'm talking about in the video. But it has all sorts of good things for you, including multi-window support for desktop and mobile, and Fluent UI, and so much more. So tune in. Hey everyone, I'm James and I'm back breaking down .NET MAUI Preview 11. There's all sorts of good stuff in this release. I'm going to cover some of the high-level bits, including my pull requests for brand new templates, including implicit usings are inside of this release. It's so good. But actually, before we get there, let's check it out, because you may be wondering, like, where's the .NET MAUI Preview 11 blog post if you're looking at this in December? And many of you are asking on the .NET MAUI GitHub over here. Well, it's quite simple, actually. Our good friend Gerald put out a little answer here, if you will, that, actually there's commits for Preview 11, there's NuGet feeds out there, and in fact, you can look at the release notes right here, but there was a slight delay over here. Now, only delay with actually using Visual Studio 2022 Preview 2, 17.1 Preview 2, since that was sort of delayed, that means that the one-click install upgrade has not been released yet. So normally what you'd do is you'd go into Visual Studio installer, you'd go ahead and launch this puppy over here. You would go ahead and then simply look for your update of Visual Studio 2022 Preview 17.1 Preview 2 is what you'd be looking for today. That's not there. But because .NET MAUI ships as a workload, you can install this manually on your machine as well. So you can totally do that. But you can browse through all of the different changes here, all sorts of good stuff. And I'm specifically going to talk about some new features that I'm really excited for. And as always, you can head over to the release notes and you can look at all of the roadmap as well and all those good things. So how do you get .NET MAUI Preview 11 on your machine? And should you get it on your machine? That's a good question. Well, if I were you, I would absolutely wait for Visual Studio 2022 Preview 17.1 Preview 2 to come out, basically. So you get the one-click update, all that stuff. Because I am crazy and I love making these videos, and it's a holiday time and I have nothing else to do, I installed all sorts of random bits on my machine. So I'm excited to walk through them. So my recommendation, totally wait, because actually there's some additional comments from the development team saying that some things may actually be broken, like some hot reload bits that have changed dramatically in these release, because it's a preview and it's still in development and things are changing all the time. But let's do it anyways. Heck, why not? So what you want to do is actually, first thing you need to do is head to .NET. So the .NET website, you want to go ahead and download .NET. Now there's actually a new release here of 6.0.101, the latest release. Click and download that. And you can see up over here in our little save as, we can see that I have the 6.0.010 64-bit release there. That's normally what would be bundled into the Visual Studio release there. You can also check out the dev blog over here. Here's the December updates from Sankit telling you not only .NET 6, .NET 5, and .NET Core 3.1, all the updates there. So check that out. All right, so what do we need to do? Glad you asked. First over here, do .NET version in your PowerShell or command prompt or anything like that. And I have 6.0.0.1, as you can see. Next thing we're going to do is do .NET workload update. Now this will go off and look for any .NET workloads that need to be updated. Now I have already updated these previously. So you would normally wait and sit here and see it updating, right? You'd normally see that. But I've already updated them. You can see here are the workloads that I have updated. Now, if you haven't yet, or if you just want to double check, and actually I recommend doing this even if you do update, because sometimes there's new workloads that are bundled into the MAUI workload. You do want to run .NET workload install MAUI. That is actually how you get .NET MAUI currently on the Mac, since it's not bundled with Visual Studio 2022 for Mac. So you can run that command line. We can do that there. You can still use MAUI check as well, but I believe it is pinned to Preview 10 currently. So run .NET workload update, run .NET workload install .MAUI, and then you'll get all the bits and pieces. And also make sure that Visual Studio is shut at this point, because you don't want to, do that while it's open. You'll definitely want to shut Visual Studio and reopen it if you had it open. Now we can make sure that we also have the latest templates installed, which that should have installed, but let's double check it just to be sure. Let's do a CD desktop. Let's do a make dir preview 11 app. There we go, cd preview 11 app, and let's do .NET new MAUI. All right. Now, if you see in here that a template update is available to the preview 11 update, run that to update it right there, and you'll be good to go. Now, when you install that update for the templates, or when you have the updates, they'll be built into Visual Studio as well. So you'll get those updates here. So the same templates are being read from the command line or from here. So if we come in to our IDE and we say, let's create a new MAUI app, the same exact template is going to be used regardless of where I create it from. Now, many of you noticed that in my previous video, I had the wrong theme, if you will, on because we wanted the red theme. Obviously, I believe was the right theme. It's holiday time. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go into the dark theme over there. So everyone's theme preferences are different, but I'll go with the normal dark theme here. All right, so I do want to show you that there a few things have changed over here actually inside of our application. So we still have our normal scroll view, all of our things over here. But if we open our MAUI program, we're going to see that there is a lot less code in here, which is very, very nice. This is now using file scoped namespaces. And you can see there's no usings up there as well, which is very, very cool. So those are all there. If we go into our pages over here, same exact thing. We can see our namespaces coming in. Let's go ahead and restore our NuGet packages and build it up, I guess. I can build it, make sure that stuff resolves. And now we can see that we just have one namespace here too, which is really, really cool. If I go into my platforms like Android, same stuff here. So we're using that. We can note that I'm not using necessarily like my Android stuff over here, which is good. But the main usings are being brought in for me automatically, including in my main application. So everything is brought in for me automatically here, which is super nice. Now, if I come over to my solution and I tap on this show files, we can go into the OBJ debug, and in any of these, you can tap on the global usings. And this is the brand new implicit usings that's being brought in automatically. So what's nice about this is that you get not only the built-in dependency injection, you're gonna get controls, MAUI essentials, hosting, and of course, all of your system usings as well. Now, if you go ahead and tap on this here on the project, you'll note that a new setting has been added for us here, which is enable implicit usings. So that's also super important that you go ahead and add that there. So really, really cool that has been automatically set for us. So we're using all the latest and greatest things. So really, really nice to see this template evolve. You can turn that off if you want to and then fix up all your namespaces. That's totally fine, but they're all there for you, which I think is really, really cool. Now, another thing that's in this release actually is the support for the Fluent UI part of WinUI 3, which is really a nice feature of modernizing and making Windows apps look really, really great. So I'm just going to run the app, and this actually has a brand new button on it. So this is actually a new Fluent button instead of the normal rounded type of thing that we're normally used to. And additionally, let's say we add a entry over here. There we go. Let's see if that pops up for me. Again, some things may be broken, like the XAML reload. So let's go ahead and pop this open again. Oh, I should probably put this in a grid row. I probably just put in the entire thing. That's probably why it is a little upset at me. So let's go ahead and do that actually. Oh, actually we can see it way up here. That's funny. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and stop that. Let's do an entry instead of the bot. Let's do that in grid dot row equals 4. There we go. And let's go and run it one more time over here. Oh, let's go ahead and close that off. Perfect. So now what we should see is that we have some new Fluent UI. I believe that the Fluent UI is set up for our entries, our buttons, maybe one or two other controls. I'm going to have to wait for that to come off, but Fluent UI happening over here. I don't know if I have an older MAUI app installed. Let's see if MAUI app 6 is here. Let's see if this one's working so we can see the side by side. Actually, here you go. This is what it would used to look like over here. It's an old one, but you can see that the button is much, much different than we would see on this new one with the rounded corners, different text, and the fluent entry happening as well, which I think is really, really nice. And that just happens for free. So I didn't do anything here. That is just automatically brought in for us, which I think is super rad. The other thing I want to talk about specifically is multi-window support. So multi-window support is a brand new feature that the team has delivered to enable you to do multi-windows. And this is something probably mostly for desktop support that I would want to say, because you're often working with multiple windows, for example, like on Windows or on Mac. You can also do like split screen multi-windows with scenes on iOS and Android as well. However, for me at least, I don't really think that the phone and tablets like the space for me to do it. I really feel like the desktop is the place for me to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually jump over to my Mac where I've done the same exact install steps and I have VS Code up and running, and we're going to go ahead and look at multi-window support over there. So let's check it out. All right, so here we are over on the Mac, and this is a pull request by John Dick and team talking about the multi-window support. So here we can see a little bit of code on how to do it. And then actually scrolling down, Matthew has a nice example of it working on Windows 11, I believe he's on and running over here. And what's cool is that he's showing off that in the visual tree, when you open another window, it actually shows up in the XAML visual tree, which is really, really cool. Anyways, let's get this started over here. So I've created an app already, just a blank app. And what I did is I just did open new window, created a new window, and set the page to the main page. So it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. Some code that we need to add over in the app delegates for both iOS and Android, if we want to put it there, is this little scaffolding for a scene delegate, because that's how iOS and Mac use it, or these scene delegates. You're also going to need to upload and update your info.plist with this supports multiple scenes configuration. So again, if you don't need to do multi-window support, if you need it in your application, then you're going to want to do this. Let's first run it over on macOS. So I'm just going to go ahead and do Mac Catalyst, and here we go. And we get it up and running. And when I click me, I get another window. And if I click me again, I get another window. And we get all the windows, so many windows, which is really cool. So very minimal work to get multi-window support. Well, how about iOS over here? Because I think Mac is probably exactly what we do it most of the time for multi-window, and of course Windows as well. So when you're on desktop, but if you're on iPadOS or Android tablets, that's where this is going to come in really nice too. In some instances you'd want to control. So here I'm just going to use the command line to bundle it up for iOS. So let's go ahead and do that here and bring up the simulator. The iPad mini is here. So when I click me, it actually opens the scene on the right-hand side, which is really cool. If you open another one, it'll bring that one to focus. And here we can actually see them all open. So many multi-windows, all that good stuff with just one line of code, which is really awesome. All right, the last thing I want to talk about now that we've seen multi-window is some other updates to the application itself. So actually, I mentioned the implicit usings over here, but I also want to scroll down and show you that in this release, the Windows App SDK has been updated to the GA 1.0. Now, multi-window support is actually like a preview feature inside of the Windows App SDK version 1.0. So if you try to run that same exact code on Windows right now, it throws an exception. It may continue for you. It may not. It kind of depends where you're at. But just be aware of that. If you're running this on Windows, you're like, what's going on? The other thing you definitely also want to check on in Visual Studio is make sure that your updates are updated here too. So you can actually see that there's a single project MSIX and some other things that need to be updated. So definitely check that out. Make sure that everything is updated, even though it obviously clearly works for me, but always good to keep those things up to date there. All right, and that's just a quick walkthrough of some of the features. There's a whole bunch more. I'll put links down in the show notes down there for all the good stuff as well. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If things dramatically change between now and when Visual Studio 2022 17.1 Preview 2 drops, or maybe I'll just do it when that updates. Anyways, I will go ahead and make another video for all of y'all out there. This is going to be one of my last preview videos before the holidays. So I hope that everyone has a great holiday, and I'll check you out in 2022. Thank you so much for an amazing year. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, jam that subscribe button. And also, I hope that you check me out right here on YouTube for my live streams. I've moved from Twitch to YouTube, and I'm doing an entire Blazor series right now. And I hope to bring live streams to all y'all. And of course, I have a new membership too. So if you want to support the channel, you can do that in many ways. just by watching this video, hitting that like button, or of course, if you want to join up, get some additional perks, check it out. Right down there, there's a join button down there. Check it out. And thanks for watching.